Tenet is directed by Christopher Nolan and is the big blockbuster that's going to be bringing audiences back to the theaters, and this movie has been surrounded with secrecy, so I'm not going to go that much into spoilers, but if I do, I'll just bleep myself out. So pretty much, Tenet is about... So that's Tenet. What do you guys think? Have you seen the movie? Have you not seen the movie? Whatever you think, put the comments below and maybe I'll read it, maybe I won't. That was weird. Let's try that again. So Tenet's about John David Washington, who's the protagonist of the film, and I'm not kidding when I say he's the protagonist. I say that because that is the only name the movie gives him, and he is recruited by this organization who's pretty much trying to stop World War III from happening, and they're gonna do this by using time inversion, and that's really all I'm gonna say about the movie, because at this point, if you are a Christopher Nolan fan, of course you're gonna go see this movie. It is a Christopher Nolan film. He is the star, so pretty much anything that I can say wouldn't really have that big an effect on you, but I feel like I have to give a little bit more for the certain type of people that wouldn't want to see this movie, and I wouldn't be surprised if everyone wasn't entirely invested into this movie, because it's kind of a hard movie to understand. Not that the movie is complicated or confusing, it may be complex in certain areas, especially the way that it deals with time, and Christopher Nolan has these long, intricate stories, but I feel like the main reason why it may be hard to understand for some people is because the audio, the dialogue, is physically hard to understand, because for some reason, Christopher Nolan went a bit weird with the sound mixing in this film. He did the same thing for Dunkirk, but with this movie, there's certain scenes with someone's on a boat and you can barely hear their dialogue over the sound of the boat engine or the water. And there's even some scenes where some people are walking on a street or high up on a roof and you can hear the wind in the cars honking and for some reason is overtaking the dialogue, and you can't hear a lot of the movie for the first hour, hour 15, which is really annoying because the first hour, hour 15 is very dialogue heavy. There's a lot of exposition that we the audience need to know so we can understand the movie, but sadly for the first hour I was very nervous because I didn't really know what was happening in the film entirely. I understood the specific scenes and what we were doing in the moment, even though I didn't get the overall gist, and I somewhat understood what the characters wanted to do, but because of not being able to hear the dialogue, I was very nervous for the first hour of this film, and I could totally understand if this turns off a lot of people. But there's a certain moment that happens in this film where everything just clicked and it went into a different type of movie, and when this moment happened, I absolutely loved everything that came from that and came after that. During this moment in the movie, I was thinking, oh, are they gonna do this thing? Are they gonna do it? And they did it, and I was so happy, and it really won me over for the movie because everything that comes from that moment is everything I wanted in Tenet, and this is where Christopher Nolan shines, and all of his Christopher Nolan-isms come from this moment in the movie that really bring us to a very cinematic and exciting climax. And beyond just the story, this is a Christopher Nolan film, so of course Christopher Nolan has his Nolan-isms that we all love. The sound design, the film editing in this movie is superb. I saw this in the theaters, my first theatrical experience in 6 months, and the sound was outstanding, and this movie is 2.5 hours, and I was fully invested for the full 2.5 hours. I didn't need or want to check my phone, mainly because I was so invested in the film, and also because I was really trying to concentrate on the dialogue so I can understand what they were saying. But I haven't felt this much immersion in a film in over 6 months, and it felt great. And just like all of Christopher Nolan films, the sound, besides the dialogue, is very strong. The creativity that Nolan has for this type of film is really the top of his game, and the visual effects, of course, the visuals in the Christopher Nolan film are impressive, and it was even more impressive that apparently a lot of the stunts and the effects that they do in this film were made in real life, especially with the time inversion stuff, and I just love it, and you can see it in the film. Performances too, John David Washington, he is the protagonist of the film, and he has pretty much the only humor in this film. Sometimes it's a hit, and sometimes it does feel a bit forced, but his character is fun, he is a bit cool. Sometimes it felt a bit forced, but for the majority of his character, I really liked him. Robert Pattinson is also in this film, who plays pretty much a Christopher Nolan type character in this film. British, well-dressed, and I really like Robert Pattinson. He's really made a good name for himself in the last couple years. And also Kenneth Branagh is in this film, and I like him as an actor. He does have a Russian accent in this film that is a bit over the top, and sometimes it works and sometimes it felt a bit cartoonish, but I still like his performance. His accent was just a bit too much for me. And for the score of this movie, usually Nolan has Hans Zimmer as the composer. Sadly, Hans Zimmer cannot do this film, but instead we got soundtrack by Ludwig Göransson, and of course I did miss Hans Zimmer in this film. I wouldn't say that Ludwig's score is bad. It's a good score and really fits the time spy element of this film. I miss Hans Zimmer. Nothing against Ludwig though. But overall, I did really enjoy Christopher Nolan's Tenet. This is a movie that I definitely want to watch for a second time, because even watching the film for the first time, I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I missed, and even reading stuff on internet, I went, oh, that's that thing, and with the very exciting second half of this film, I'm even more driven to see this film for a second time so I can pick up on those little things I missed the first time. But if you are gonna go see this in a theater, please be safe, Don't do anything stupid. But overall, I did really enjoy Tenet. It did definitely pick up for me in the second half versus the first. So if you're not feeling it for the first half, just wait to see if it does work for you. I did really like the performances. The dialogue was a bit iffy, but the other visual and sound effects that Christopher Nolan had, especially with the score by Ludwig Göransson, was really strong. I would recommend Tenet, probably seeing it safely in a theater, and so I can say that Tenet is a good movie. So that's Tenet. What do you guys think? Have you seen the movie? Have you not seen the movie? Whatever you think, put the comments below and maybe I'll read it, maybe I won't. Thank you as always for watching, and if you haven't, you can click my last video right over here, and you can click my upcoming video right over here. Thank you as always for watching, and hope to see you next time.